What is your accidentally caught your spouse cheating horror story? My neighbor is deployed and his wife is getting fucked by 2 dudes at the same time. Not always. Sometimes it's just dickhead 1, but sometimes he brings his homeboy dickhead 2 over to get in on the extramarital affair. I wish I knew the guy that being cheated on, but I was deployed when he moved in. I came home, then he left a week later. Then dickhead starting coming around. SMH people, SMH. Not me but one of my best mates. His girlfriend snuck a guy into their 1-bedroom apartment whilst he was playing Xbox in the living room. I heard the argument through the mic after he heard a noise coming from the bedroom. He kicked her out and continued playing with us. Edit, alrighty, this certainly blew up. To the people saying my buddy deserved it because he is addicted to video games, I don't know where you got that from. He only plays when there is a bit of spare time. She is just a shit person. After he caught them in the act and kicked her out, he came back onto the mic to tell us what happened and to get off the game. We encouraged him to stay on and talk everything through with us. We were in different countries at the time and couldn't see him in person because we were worried. Their relationship had been a little rocky, but who would guess that someone would cheat, and especially in the next room. He is a great guy who did not deserve that happen to him. He is now in a healthy relationship with a wonderful lady. After a week visiting friends in London, England, I flew back to Canada. I was supposed to do something with another group of friends when I got back, but plans fell through, so I drove the 4 hours home to the apartment we shared. She expected me home at 6 PM. I'd been up for 30 straight hours and got home at 6 AM, wanting nothing more than to fall into bed. There was an extra set of feet attached to some arsehole when I walked in. Not mine but my brother. He was at a small party with 2 friends and his wife. He got tired and wanted to head home. His wife stayed behind. She gave some lame excuse and begged off going with him. It was alright, he thought. His best buddy was there and would make sure she got home safe for him. He got in his car, pulled out of the driveway. Before he could get on down the block, he checked his rear view and noticed the room in the house they were all in had gone dark. He'd suspected for a time something was up with her. They had a child together. She died at the sitter. It was ruled SIDS. She had grown colder in the months after the baby died. He never really thought anything like what he was about to see was actually possible. It was more a deep-seated feeling that something was up, but she never let him in and they didn't work through the loss together. Seeing the lights out crystallized the situation for him, and he turned right around. The house was dark. The front door was still unlocked. He walked right in into the only room with any light. He opened the door to find his best friend and another acquaintance double teaming his soon-to-be ex. He hasn't really been the same since. Okay, so my ex was having computer problems and wanted to go on Facebook on my phone. No problem, but I made her use Safari so I wouldn't have to log out of the app. Anyways, couple days later I'm closing tabs on my phone and there is her Facebook still open. Well, I see she's chatting with her ex John. Turns out they banged in our bed and were gonna go out on a date soon. So in the messages he asked she wear something nice in the messages. I'm not the jealous type, so I leave it for a couple days. Couple days go by and she wants to have sex while we are kissing and getting hot and heavy. I whisper in her ear, don't forget John wants you to wear something nice on your date Saturday. The look of horror in her eyes was magical. I put my shirt on and start walking out as she's crying and saying she's sorry. 2 weeks ago I sent a message to a mutual friend asking to borrow a router. He didn't answer, but no worries, he lives nearby. I'll just stop by and grab it. I pull up to his house and start heading down the driveway. He has a long country driveway, so it's a few seconds before I see my car. I drive a company vehicle during the day, already there. My heart began to sink, but they are friends and business partners. Maybe it's nothing. I got out of my van and look up to see the other guy shirtless in his bedroom. At this point my heart is down on my stomach and I am visibly shaking. I go in and immediately head upstairs. He is alone, now clothed. I say I came to borrow the router. Also, have you seen my wife? The car is here. He then proceeds to give the worst improv I've ever heard. No, she was here at some point though. Whatever, I knew she was there, I just wanted him to admit it. I go down, take the router, and head back to the van where I finally encounter my wife topless trying to sneak around the side of his house. And now here I am. Was on a very rare date night, kids at the grandparents' house. I'm looking extra cute so didn't even want to carry a purse or my cell. Used his phone on the way to the restaurant to confirm our reservations. After eating, used his phone again to get the movie times via text. Saw a name in the frequently sent. Asked him innocently who is Lisa. He snatched the phone and said my coworker. Fast forward 3 hours later and I'm throwing his clothes into his car after going online and viewing the hundreds of texts sent to several women. But still, I was a fool for love and opted to stay. I was with him my entire adult life so I didn't know anything different. That was 2006. We had our 19th anniversary in January. My divorce was final in March. He got married to another one of his many affairs in June. I'm enjoying being unattached and becoming an empty nester as of this fall. I caught my ex thanks to fucking Pokemon Go of all things. She mentioned Pokemon Go was using lots of her data. I explained that in her settings she could see how much data an app was using. I proceeded to show her and prove to her it wasn't by pointing out Tinder was using much more data. It was sad but also funny the way it went down. I've posted this before but it's still funny to remember.
What a Pokemon ho.
Didn't happen to me, but my closest friend growing up. He was making out with his girlfriend in the back of her car, which at the time she had only had for a week, and he put his hand on the back of the car somewhere between the back of the headrests and the rear windshield. I guess the opposite of a dashboard. Anyways, he put his hand in a semi-fresh load of jizz. And her answer was that her gum must have flew from her mouth and land back there and the sun melted it into a jizz-like substance. Get in his car. The seat was pushed all the way back and there's a bracelet on the floor. First thing I asked was if he had cleaned off the seat when he had finished. He said yes. Then he realized he was talking to his girlfriend, not one of the many friends who knew about his affair. The best part is we were all packed up for a weekend out of town for his cousin's wedding. His parents were in the car behind us. I went. We didn't speak the entire weekend. I opened my sister's door to ask for a hair tie and she was fucking my BF. This was in high school but still. I spit on them, yelled why, and went downstairs to leave. My dad is in the living room on the computer and asks what's wrong. I say go upstairs and see for yourself. I ran outside and heard the yelling right away. My dad chased him out of the neighborhood naked. She got shipped to my mom's house shortly after that, and got pregnant at 17 years old. A professor at my college accidentally posted handwritten letters from, or to, his mistress on his class's website today. His wife is also a professor at my college. Wonder how that one's playing out this evening. Yikes. I've posted about this before, but he changed his phone password. I left it for months until something just wasn't sitting right in my gut. I unlocked his phone with my thumb and I didn't even have to look. There was a messaging app open with a girl he was meeting the next day. I sent him to work without confronting him. I reset passwords through a long chain of emails to finally access the one associated with the messaging app. Lo and behold, he was sending approximately 10,000 emails per year for the last 4 years of our relationship. He was living a whole second life and hiding it from everyone. Our relationship had never appeared stronger and we had been seeing a therapist to work on strengthening our communication for 8 months, once a week. Clearly he was hiding his issues from the therapist as well. At the time, I felt like it ruined my life. I remember thinking very clearly, what did I do to deserve this? When I thought that, something inside of me just snapped. I calmly went and bought a giant coffee and cardboard boxes. I packed all his things up before he was home from work and changed our locks. The end. Edit. People are asking. I moved his things into storage and left the key along with the passive-aggressive notes. He left me a short note, apologizing for what he didn't, owning up to it. He made a social media post telling everyone what he didn't ask they leave him alone and support me. I saw him weeks later to talk and he didn't try hide what he had done and transparent. I loved him and if he had came to me and admitted he had this problem, I would have helped him seek therapy. It wasn't the subject matter so much that is the issue. An addiction is an addiction. It's the lying. Not me, but a close friend had an affair with another close friend and got caught because she lost an earring in the bed. After the entire blowout of a friend group and lots of shaming on both of them, she says he raped her and everyone is stunned and doesn't know what to do. So to prove he didn't rape her, he had to show his wife and the police home security footage of the woman riding him like a horse while he was handcuffed. So he cheated, then was accused of rape and got to top it off by showing his wife a sex tape with another woman. Edit. We didn't all instantly start calling the woman a liar. We didn't have time to process a lifelong friend being a rapist before it was said straight and she started backpedaling. Please stop personal messaging me that I'm an asshole and didn't believe her. Thank you for watching. I hope you never end up in any situations like these. If you've had any experiences like these, I hope you keep your head up high and take care of yourself. You are loved. If you liked or hated the video, give it a thumb of some sort. Remember to subscribe to okpjdark for more Ask Reddit videos every single day. See you tomorrow.